How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Tabs Tonight, coming at you with another deck review or deck box review. Sorry. So this one is going to be the Gemtech the Vixen machine, or the Vixen machine. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Um, I recently went over the last two videos that I did, and one of the things that I really wanted to start doing was like a scoring system for the deck boxes to help kind of simplify the overall review, because I go through and I talk about my opinions of that deck box at the time, and like my first opinions and stuff. But I also wanted to give more of also like a scoring system for like that objectiveness, right? And in doing so, so the first deck box I did was the Armored Corgi one, and I didn't do it for that one like at all. In the Manamoon one, I didn't do it in the video, but I had it in the description. So for this one, I think I'm going to do it on screen as well. It's going to be part of the video. So I'm going to do the scoring system mostly at the end, but then I'm going to also go through and talk about the deck box as we go through it, just to show it off, get a feel for it, show it off to you guys, and get the idea of it up for you. So right away, we have this magnetic box. This is a clear film on top of it to protect the clear screen. I just keep that on it because I think it helps to keep nice for longer. But it has this magnetic box that is similar to the actual deck box. And then it has a black and white version of the artwork here, with the little window that shows off the deck box. Very reminiscent of what is actually in the deck box. So I guess before we get into the actual deck box itself, I will read off what Gemtech actually has labeled for it. So their deck tech, which is their deck box line, TCG deck box holds 150 double sleeved trading cards. I haven't actually ever really tested that, but I know from experience that for at least for Yu-Gi-Oh, if you use both sides of the deck box, it definitely holds over 150 double sleeve cards. Impact and slip resistant outer shell material. So I haven't really stress test any of my drum tech stuff. I haven't wanted to spend the extra 50 to do that, but um we'll get into that a little bit later. And then durable inner shell, providing the best protection. Again, I haven't really tested that, but from the my experience of owning a couple of these, they are pretty durable, and they do have they like none of my cards have ever been damaged while inside one of these. I'll say that much. Magnetic wraparound lid to keep everything inside safe. That is true. And then flip down dice tray built into each box, and that is again true. And we will show that off as we get into it. So the Vixen machine line is based off the Mystery Machine, obviously, and it's got this very nice design on it. Oh, little friction fit. The display box is very nice too, but I'll put that over there for now so we can pull this over and show this off. So it says it has the Vixen machine here in that nice kind of shiny material. The flower is a felt kind of material, and it's a sort of layered material, so you can kind of see it there. You this would catch, so you do have a few not sharp bits here, but there is a possibility that if this is glued down rather than the stitching that it has, which I'm pretty sure it is, then there's a chance that this might peel. Not super ideal, but it happens. On most of the other Gemtech boxes I own, they don't have one of these down here, but I believe that's because the Vixen line specifically uses models for their stuff. So it's very possible that they just either they're just doing this now to help protect their brand, or because specifically the Vixen line has third parties involved. It's based off the Mystery Machine. It's based off of Scooby Doo. The inside is very beautiful. It has a model dressed as Velma, and it's not very lewd. Some of their stuff in the past has been kind of lewd, especially for the Vixen line. This one pretty safe for work for the most part. It's not absolutely like safe for work, but it's something that probably wouldn't get you kicked out of an event. So there's that. There's thankfully that. Um, Even then, hiding that, you have this really, I don't want to say groovy, but it's basically like because it feels like I'm dating myself, with how old I am. But this is a very, at least in my opinion, a very groovy deck divider. Probably one of the downsides of Gemtech is that Gemtech doesn't give you more than one divider. Uh, if they had given us two or three of these, I think this would have been really awesome. Even and then like and even then you could do multiple designs at that point. But even then, I like the one. It looks really good. Having more than one of those would be great in my opinion. It does have this pull down dice tray that does flip open. Now I took all of the plastic out before because this is a deck box that came out previously, and I had opened it to make sure everything was all pretty hunky dory inside and everything. But I just wanted to make a review, even though technically the review is a little late. So I will say that most gem techs have the same issue, be it where and it's usually because of where the dice tray is. This corner specifically of the deck box likes to bulge, or it likes to be a little, or not that it likes to bulge, but it's a little bulkier than the rest of them. So you can kind of see from like a side profile that this corner here is a little bigger than if I flipped it over and where it's flush and smooth here. So it's just a few little things to consider. It's not like a turn off or anything. I think it's very fine. It's very negligible and unnoticeable for the most part. This one specifically has it hidden pretty well. It's also where a lot of the stitches tend to come together on a lot of their deck boxes. This one specifically does not have that problem as much. Um, but it is definitely thicker. This is slightly thicker than their other deck boxes. Um, I can actually pull one of the other deck boxes out because and I'm pretty sure it's because they have this the green on this is actually wrapped around the blue. So give me one moment. So I've gone ahead and pulled out the Gemtech charity deck box, where I can show it off to you there, where the profile of this deck box is slightly thicker, ever so slightly. It's really not noticeable. It's as thin as this extra layer of material on top of it. It's super negligible, but it just trying to was just trying to point out that it's actually there, and yeah, so you can kind of see that it without sliding it, it completely shows that. So good. I see, yeah, see it sticks out a little bit. So they're not the exact same fit, but they definitely will fit in most places alongside that deck box. Now, for the most part, the Gemtech line is absolutely great, and they are always worth the price, in my opinion. They are relatively inexpensive though when it comes to other ones because their shipping is usually very negligible, as opposed to something like Manamoon. Um, but we'll go over that kind of stuff like in the score and whatnot. So we will be right back with the score. All right, and what was a jump cut for you guys was a couple of minutes for me because I was trying to think about what I was going to do for each score and kind of bring it up in the video. So immediately, I guess we can go over the price score, which is a 3 out of 5. So if you have basically 3 out of 5 for me is if you have the money and you can afford a luxury deck box like this, absolutely, it's worth the price. It's worth going out of your way to get it. I think especially for a deck box that's still available now, because these don't artificially go out of stock. At least I don't think so on their website. Um, Absolutely love it. And I think that for $49.99, this is definitely a good deck box. This is also $49.99 is the base price. It'll go down to $44.99 if you use like a 10% discount code, like I have down there in the bottom left hand corner. So like if you use this code, you will get you'll basically get $5 off, which helps take away from the shipping and from the overall experience. Now, I will note that when I bought this deck box, I paid for priority mail shipping, which is about 10 to 11 USD. So at the end of the day, I still ended up paying 55.58 for this deck box with priority mail shipping to where I live. So and that is with my discount. So without the discount, you'll be paying about $60. But you'll also be getting it relatively fast. So from when I ordered it, I pre-ordered it as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute with the time sync. But that will be basically non-existent. And I will, and it will essentially change when we get to it. But so for then the next one we have detail. I have it labeled as 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 for the detail because the absolute stunning artwork based off a model is one of my favorite things. I absolutely love the detail. One of the few detractors from it is actually like this little bit. I think that this could possibly get caught on something if you use it too long, and like this peeling off or this peeling off could spell disaster for like this whole thing. And while I really hope that doesn't happen, and I don't want it to happen, if it does, it could be very bad. For the overall deck box, for the health of the deck box as well. But pretty much like everything else is great. Like that is like the only reason why I could think to deduct a point. And yeah, so because I usually I only buy deck boxes that I absolutely love. So uh really did like the design on this one and wanted to point that out. Like there are things that could detract from it like that, but overall I feel like that is not a flaw in in the design idea. That is a flaw with the idea, because they wanted to make it look like the Mystery Machine, and those kind of wavy patterns like that always have some sort of drawback if you try to do the really cool effect they did of layering it. So, uh, like I said, not a flaw of them per se, more of a flaw of the idea. Next is the time. Now, this is one of the or the time sync that you have to put into getting the deck box. Now, this one will change because the deck box is still available, but from the pre-order time to now, it wasn't too bad, but it was a few months. So I did want to point that out. Because it's very possible that for Gemtech in general, when you order a deck box, there may be a few months of a wait between you getting it, you ordering it and you getting it. So for me specifically, I pre-ordered this in January of this year, and it didn't show up until May 9th. So like I've had it for about 2 months now, but uh, and I'm only making the review now because I've been trying to get into doing reviews for stuff. But overall, uh, the wait time wasn't too bad. It was only 3 months, which is why the time is a 3 out of 5, as opposed to the Mana Moon where I had to wait like basically over a year. Uh, which like Mana Moon had got a 1 out of 5. This is a 3 out of 5. So like a 5 out of 5 would be like them sending it like immediately, which is ultimately what they would have now. So for my experience, the time was a 3 out of 5. But for most people watching this video, if you were to go buy that deck box now, your wait time would most likely be a 4 or a 5 out of 5, because you would probably be getting it like a few days after you ordered it, depending on the shipping method you got. Now again, I got priority mail shipping, which is a 2 to 3 day shipping method, and it cost me a few extra dollars. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that 10% discount that you get over there will pay for most of your shipping, or it'll just like it basically just takes the entire shipping off. So, for example, the deck box is $49.99. With the 10% discount code, it'll become down the $45.99, and then or for $44.99, and then most likely your shipping costs will be about 5, 6, maybe 7 USD, like for their normal 5 to 10 day shipping, I believe, which I think is UPS ground mail. And even then, it'll probably only take you back a little above $50. So it very much, in my opinion, the price alongside the time sink is pretty okay. So time would probably go up, and I'll fix the score. And we'll talk about that again during the overall score. And then the last score that I'm going to give it, kind of round out the number to out of 20, is the top score. So the top score is basically just how much I like the deck box personally. It's my personal opinion of the deck box, and this is definitely a 4 out of 5 for me. I love these type of deck boxes. The kind where you can pick it up and have this really nice design just out of it. This kind of deck box to me always screams high quality, always screams a good company who wants to show off some good artwork and such. Being able to find good artists to do these types of things, get the commissions done, being able to get this product created the way that they do and everything is always super important to me. And I like the idea of it. Like, there are other types of deck boxes that aren't like this that are still perfectly fine and valid, but when you have something like this, I think it just screams like next level stuff. This is definitely a luxury item in that regard, and while I definitely think that not everybody needs luxury items, this is something that like why it's a 4 out of 5 is because it's a very high quality luxury item. There are some companies that try to do deck boxes like this. There's a lot of like Chinese companies that try to do this kind of stuff. You can see them a lot on AliExpress. You see them a lot on Amazon. You see them a lot on Temu, and there's a vast difference in the quality between something like this and something like them. Especially because they end up being a lot cheaper, and there's almost no semblance of like an artwork or anything. It's because they just don't have that level of luxury to it. Where something like this is not just a high quality item; it can also be considered like a collectible, and that's why I highly like it and have this score of 4 or 5, as opposed to something like Temu or like the really plain ones that would probably get like a 2 out of 5 just based on like their color and the color design. Or some I do have some that would be a 1 out of 5. Because I have tested or I have gotten some to test and rate at points. So definitely want to go over that score with that. So we'll move on to the overall score now. So overall, like from my personal experience, what I have here, I have it labeled basically as a 14 out of 20, which would be a 70%. Or if you wanted to fix the time score, it would be an 80%, which would make it a 16 out of 20, which uh from the way that I score things, an 80% like that is an incredibly high score, and it's definitely something that should not be scoffed at. 80% like that is not terrible. It means that there was a few docked points for something trivial, or for something just like trying to get a 5 out of 5 for anything is very difficult. So the fact that there's two 3 out of 5s and two 4 out of 5s makes it an incredibly high quality deck box. It's something that I highly recommend for other people. And if you like this type of stuff, if you like these type of luxury deck boxes, I highly recommend them to you. So that being said, if you like this type of video, please leave a like. If you want to get this deck box, it'll be linked in the description below. It is still available. If you want to save 10% off this deck box, feel free to use my code down there in the bottom left corner. And if you get this deck box and you want to tell me your thoughts about it, or if you just want to tell me your thoughts about some deck boxes or talk about stuff in general, we have a Discord invite in the description. You can see it here. It'll also be at the end of the video, if you I believe. So you can click on that, join the server. We love to have you around. We love to talk to you guys. I love to talk to people who watch my videos and get their opinions on stuff. I think that part of the thing is, I love to make these videos for you guys, and if you guys aren't having fun with the videos as well, then I might not like the videos myself. So I wanted to I like to extend that olive branch of respect and talk to you guys about it. That also being said, it means the most that you guys like my videos. You guys are an absolute blessing. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you, and peace.